Speaker, Ebonyi State House of Assembly begs IPOB in Ebonyi State. Please forgive me for my statement yesterday. I think this speaker made some statement some days back. According to what is being said, IPOB is not responsible over insecurity in Ebonyi. Okay, why the U-turn in the first place? Why making such statement? He's just making that statement. You know, this man started it. Of course, he's playing to the gallery. The governor of Imo State, Uzodinma, he started this whole thing. Oh, the crisis in Imo State, I think as at last year, when the thing was at its peak, when the insecurity was at its peak, he came out and said, oh, IPOB is behind this and that, just before the former IGP finished or ended his own tenure. You know, that one was just relief. Of course, he ought to have lived before 3 months after he was still retained, when Buhari retained him, when there was a jail break in Imo State. Just after 1 hour, he just concluded that it was ESN IPOB that did that, and people were asking, how did you carry your investigation just like that? And that was the same time Uzodinma was still spitting fire that IPOB. But I think within 2-3 days, he made a U-turn as well. Uzodinma made a U-turn as well and said, oh, that it was political struggle. All the people or the oppositions are the ones behind the insecurity and the unrest in Imo State, and which a lot of people don't even want to hear. And that is why up to today you hear people saying, oh, all the atrocities being committed, IPOB, ESN. But now they are drifting from that with the killing of some people, I think in Anambra some days ago, and they said, oh, they are cultists. Ordinarily they would have, if they had their way, they would have said, oh, it was IPOB and ESN, they were the one that did that. And for this man again, at this age and time, when everybody is clear to everybody what has been happening, the Speaker of Ebonyi State now apologizing that he should be forgiven for the statement he made that IPOB is not responsible for the insecurity in Ebonyi State. And you begin to wonder what came over him. Some people will tell you that if you want to trend, just talk about IPOB. If you want to be recognized, if you want to do this, just talk about IPOB, so that maybe you'll be in the good book of the so-called, what do they call them? The so-called governments. It is good for someone who know that he made mistake and asks for forgiveness. Let IPOB forgive him. We are brothers. You see, this is the kind of statement I was telling you that most Nigerians, even if IPOB is going to be living or Biafrans are going to be living anytime soon, if they want to live, the same spirit that there's one thing, maybe it is associated with most human beings, but from what I have deduced from Nigerians is that they can easily forgive. And okay, let me talk about the southern part of the country. They can easily forgive. You can imagine this kind of statement, and that is the statement of almost everybody. I'm not saying everybody in the southern parts of the country in Nigeria. And most of these politicians that are just running their mouths, misbehaving here and there, I think they have noticed this thing also, that they can do whatever they want to do. When the time comes, when they feel that they are not enjoying what they are enjoying because of whatever reasons, they will begin to make a U-turn and begin to plead for forgiveness, because they know that Nigerians, especially the southern part of the country, they will have that soft heart to forgive. Just like somebody is making this statement, oh, it is good for someone who already know that he has made a mistake and ask for forgiveness. Let IPOB forgive him. And I've said this thing over and over again concerning Igbo Kwesu. He knows what he's doing, because he knows that at the end of the day, if there's something he just say, oh, I'm sorry, this and this and this and that, they will begin to make a U-turn. And just like Nnamdi Kanu has been quoted, that all those who serve Nigeria because of their selfish interests, especially from the southeast, that they will come back in shame. You see that this man, what's his name, Okorocha, see what he's going through. At the end of the day, they cannot stand for the truth. They are neither here nor there, but see the way they are being tossed here and there. See the way they are being tossed. And one day Ibokwe will still wake up and say, oh, I'm sorry, this and this and that, because he knows that people will forgive him. He knows that he will be forgiven. He will be forgiven. So these people, they fear. Of course. Why would they not be afraid? Or especially when you think that you have conscience. If you have conscience, apart from being afraid, you have conscience. Some people don't have conscience. Just like a Igokwe for the now, but I believe one day he will make a use of, because you know that he knows that definitely he will be forgiven. Now that he's running his mouth, pia 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 pia, he will be forgiven. He will be, you know that he will be forgiven. But I hope it will not be too late. I hope it will not be too late. All these accusations here and there. Why is it that they cannot do thorough investigation? Of course, they won't do investigation because they know that they know exactly what they are doing, because there's no truth in what they have been saying. And what happened again recently, is it in is it in Enugu, when when they said they killed some, okay, I think it's Abia State. Yes, it's Abia State, when cattle market was invaded and they killed a lot of people. And before you could say Jack Robinson, the governor just came out and started compensating those that he felt that they were affected. Up to today, they have not done investigation. They don't even know those who did that. But the next thing is that, oh, it is iPod that did that. They were the ones that did it. Up till now, they even told us that even yet unidentified people that committed that atrocities, till today they've not been able to tell us exactly what happened. But before you could say Jack Robinson, the governor started doling out cash compensation here and there, and you have not done your investigation. Why you see that they have not done their investigation, and you are doling out cash from taxpayers' money, and you don't even know those who did that? And that is the reason why most of the time they will just say, oh, IPOB did that, and they will not even bother to do any investigation, because they know the truth in the first place, because there's no truth in what they are saying. How can we continue in that kind of environment and you expect things to thrive? And that is the reason why the speaker, Ebonyi Speaker, House of Assembly, is making a U-turn to say, oh, please forgive me. Please forgive me. It was a mistake. It is not an IPOB that is responsible for the insecurity in Ebonyi State, and it should be forgiven. But thank God it's coming out to say it. If it were to be some people, they'll say, forget it, nothing will happen. We have been hearing a lot of statements here and there. So the battle that the Biafrans are fighting, the IPOB members are fighting, is a strong one. It's a strong one. It takes the strong artists to continue with this, with all the accusations here and there. And you begin to wonder, at times you begin to wonder what is happening. Who are the people behind this whole thing that the government cannot really fish out? So guys, let's hear your opinion and have your take on this.